So one thing that I'm very passionate on is things that we input. And that could be, that's anything, literally anything. And we'll start with the easy stuff first. One thing I know a lot of people, I know I was really bad at this back in the day too, was being a Facebook scroll troll. In other words, just spending all of your time absorbing everybody else's everything. Why? One thing that helped me was I dealt with a lot of depression. From like a teenager up till not too long ago, I'd say until I was about mid-30s. I'm in my latter part of 30, so really not too long ago. I was really bad with depressions. I guess bouts of depression. I ran the gauntlet of SSRIs. None of them helped. Suicidal. Like I said, lots of self-hurt. Used to be a cutter. Then that got too hard to hide, so I would like legit like hurt myself, like bruise myself bad, like just to feel the pain, just to kind of just lots of battles with self-worth. So I had to punish myself because I felt like everything I did was so bad, and that's the only way I could release the tension of the depression sometimes, was to punish myself. And then there was pain that was justifiable from the emotional pain. So I know like how important my mind, like when I started finding peace, it became very important to me to maintain it. And I started noticing what would take me away from it and what would bring me back. And I think I said this on the last video, as you go on this journey, you start to become more empathetic. We're all essentially empaths. There's not like some that are, like it's a special ability or not. We all, are empathic by nature. There's just some that it's turned off on, just again through conditioning, and that just didn't survive it. So regardless of how empathic you are currently, I'm about to be sitting in traffic here. Hopefully this truck lets me over. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Wherever you are empathically, you'll develop more empathy skills, and as you do, you will notice. You'll start feeling things more, because right now, like, everything affects us one way or another. Every vibration affects us. Empaths are more receptive to that effect. We're just more aware. We're able to consciously process it because we're more tapped into that area of our being. So as you develop this more, you will realize, all the way down to music, down to food, down to everything, that it offers a vibration that's either good or bad. And just because a vibration's bad to you doesn't mean it's bad for everyone, right? So henceforth, why people who can eat whatever they want and never gain a pound. It's mental. Like, it legit is, they don't feel bad about the food. You ask them, they're like, because that's their belief system. Like, what are you talking about? It's just the way I am, right? That's the belief system. It's a belief. In other words, it's such a belief that it's reality. There's no way to stop it from happening. So that's how potent outside input is. That's how much what we hear legit matters. So, if you're a person who's on Facebook and you're scrolling all the time, let's face it, Facebook, I don't post anything really on Facebook. And I'm not saying I'm any better than anybody else. I just don't. I should. You know, I would like to grow a social media face, so I definitely should post more. But here's the thing, people. Facebook is not a place for you to go post a hinty little problem that's going on in your life. You know, just took Connor to the hospital, sad emoji. Like, I get it. I'm not saying it's, you know, but all of those things that we do, these new things, these new forms of technology, especially for those of you millennials my age, these forms of technology that weren't around when we were younger, these new outlets, it's not a productive way to release an emotion or to vent it. I'll just say that. It's not like you're a horrible person. But Facebook's a big one. Like, stop scrolling it. I get you have friends. I get you want to know what's going on with their lives. But those people that you really want to know what's going on with their lives, you can connect with via phone or physically and actually talk to them. Those relationships, if they are strong relationships, you should be talking anyway. You know, I got best friends. I'm talking like, I got 3 bestest friends, I'd say. That sounds so shy. I got 3 bestest friends. One's my buddy, Joe, who's here in Cincinnati, and he's my best friend. Like, he's my best man at my wedding. My other 2 friends, each of them, their name is Chris. Known them a lot longer. Went to high school together. I mean, them guys are like my brothers. And we'll talk, sometimes not even for a month. There's been times where we didn't talk for like 3 months. And we always pick right up where we left off. Like, that's how close we are. So, we don't need Facebook. You know what I mean? Again, if you can function on Facebook and read stuff and it doesn't affect your well-being, which a lot of you right now are going to use that as your way out and say it doesn't, great. If you feel like you have all the peace in the world and you don't gossip and you're not worried about everybody else and, oh, this person's doing that and you're not judging the world, great. Be on Facebook all day long. If you do any of those other things, I would scale back on Facebook. Everybody else's problems are not your problem. And not only that, it's not a showcase for everybody to put their problems up. And that's what Facebook has become. So I'm not, again, demonizing Facebook. A lot of good comes out of it. I love some of the videos I see. I love some of the groups I'm in. I love it. But what the majority of people do, it's not productive. It's not good. Next is your television. Look, I'm not saying don't watch TV at all. I'm not one of those people, okay? Technology is here, and I believe we can utilize it, and I believe we can utilize it in our lives, and it won't make us crazy. However, just like anything, there's bad aspects of it. There's certain shows I can watch that are dark, like I like scary stuff that other people can't watch, that do not that does not affect my energy. There's certain comedy shows that aren't dark that I can't watch because it does affect my energy. Start listening to yourself, okay? At first, again, it's going to be like, oh, this doesn't, no, it's just, this is how I unwind. But as you get more empathic, your body, your spirit will start nudging you and you just won't feel right. You just won't anymore. Now, I know you're thinking in your head like, oh, no, everything that made me happy is going to go away. It won't make you happy anymore. It will have served its purpose. The joy that you will find will so supersede that you would not know. How many people have, and I had this weird frame of mind for a while, like, man, I don't know if I want to do all this because the people I see that I feel are there bore me. They bore me. How many of them have you ever seen that truly reached a level of peace? How many of them ever wanted to, like, in that feeling, wanted to backtrack and did? Like, more doors open for you this way than that way is what I'm saying. News, my God. Look, I'm not speaking on the fake news thing. You do you, boo, when it comes to that. I don't care. I'm not speaking politically. You do you. I will tell you, news does nobody any good. Double negatives there. Does nobody any good. Only one. Well, anyway. It doesn't, I didn't say I was the best at grammar. The news is not helpful. The news, I went to school for broadcasting, and I was more for radio, but we, had to learn the other end. And they legit would say, this one guy was a morning news producer, and he legit told the class, if it bleeds, it leads. Sounds like a catchy little phrase for the news industry, but think of the ramifications behind that. The gorier it is, the better. Have you ever seen, I live in the Midwest in Ohio, and I can tell you, like, when there's a severe thunderstorm and then there's like a tornado watch, oh my God, the weathermen, it's like a sex fiend about to go on they're ridiculous. They get all adrenaline going and just, they're in their zone, just feeding off of potential destruction. Really? And again, these things may not legit bring up any negative for you. It's just everybody's different. Politics, we will touch on politics in this. I know all about that. I was involved. To the point where the Democratic Convention, let's just say I was there, and I'm not saying why I was there, what I was doing there, because again, this ain't about anybody's politics, and anymore I don't really care about politics. It made me miserable. All right, and then people are like, oh, it's your responsibility to vote, blah blah. Really, no. My responsibility is to keep my sanity. Okay, there's enough people out there, and we don't want people who aren't educated voting, and you can't force that upon anybody either. There's enough people who are educated and care that are going to vote, okay? So that's another thing you may need to unplug from. I find myself arguing with my own old limitations that I know I held and limitations I hear people bring up to me. And I think right now it's just best to say this and just kind of own this. Is look, moving forward, you're going to have your own limitations. And if you're not ready to receive this information, you're just not. So it doesn't matter how much I argue in the other way or not. And that's my own personal thing now. I think moving forward, I'm just going to keep it straightforward. And if you're ready to receive it, you will. If you're not, you will maybe one day, or you won't. You'll take a different path. It doesn't matter. There's not one way to get to Disney World. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, politics, if that's something that really gets you amped one way or the other, if it triggers you one way or the other, anything that triggers you to an extreme no emotionally, or gets you angry, if you're a reality show junkie and you love getting pissed off at the latest idiot doing idiotic things, turn them off. I'm telling you. You'll reach a point where, nothing can affect your peace, but right now things do affect your peace, henceforth why you don't have peace. So, the responsible thing to do when we can't figure out what's going on is to shut it down until we get a hold on it, and then we can responsibly open it back up segment by segment. I don't know what kind of metaphor that was, but it legit is the answer. You just shut it down, get your head together, your peace. And for me, it was my sanity, because depression, it was a big thing for me when I reached a point where I woke up in the morning and I was happy to wake up. It was like when I realized it, like when I finally was like, oh crap. It was emotional. So because I feel like I experienced such contrast the other way, I'm very appreciative for my movement this way, and I cherish it. I'm grateful for it. And I think maybe the next video I'll do will be on gratitude. So, all right. Again, I'm going to try to put a video up every week. Not try, I'm going to. That's my commitment to you. As it goes, I guess we'll kind of figure out how the content will go. If you have any questions, any comments, whatever, leave them below. If you like the video, if it helped you, please like it, and definitely, subscribe to the channel. Community is the best way to grow. I myself am a YouTube. I love YouTube. I'm a YouTube addict. Like, I watch everybody on there, and there's a lot of wonderful people on YouTube who have a lot of wonderful ideas and a lot of wonderful interpretations to get you from here to there. So, all right, thank you.